Hello! Greetings mga ka-Skywatchers and mga ka-Spacers natin out there from Luzon, Visayas and Mindanao. And sa lahat po ng ating mga Skywatchers and mga ka-Spacers na nakatutok po ngayon sa ating live worldwide and netwide. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. This is your ka-Skywatcher, ka-Spacer and Space Commander Sir Jun Cahigal. And welcome to another of our live stream tonight. So for today, ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayon ay all about telescopes. Alright, so bago po tayo magpatuloy sa ating topic ngayong gabi, don't forget to like and share this video so that we could reach more people. Lalong-lalo na po yung mga estudyante natin out there so that they would be engaged and they would be inspired to love the sciences. And don't forget po to follow us on our TikTok and Facebook page, The Skywatcher Society of Las Piñas. Ayan po yung aming logo sa taas po, The Skywatcher Society of Las Piñas. And i-follow nyo rin po ako sa aking YouTube channel, The Science Guy, Professor Jun Cahigal. Don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell so that you would be updated on our future videos. Alright, so at the moment we have 23 viewers. Yan, and mag-heart react po kayo, no? So mag-heart react po kayo kung kayo po ay natututo po sa ating topic ngayong gabi. Alright, so ang pag-uusapan po natin ngayon mga ka-Skywatchers is all about telescopes. Alright, so siguro we'll have to define first what a telescope is. Ano ba talagang isang telescope? Alright, so what is a telescope? So a telescope is an instrument, no, that collects and focuses electromagnetic radiation, usually in the form of light, to make distant objects appear larger and brighter. So mga ka-Spacers, no, we can consider the telescope as an extension of the human eye. Kasi po ang mga mata natin, ang human eye, though it's a remarkable piece of evolution, talagang state of the art po yung ating mata in terms of the language of evolution. Kaya lang po ang ating mata, the human eye, has its limitations. So yung mata po natin cannot perceive distant objects. So yung nahihirapan po ang ating mata pag titingin po sa mga malalayong bagay. So we need an instrument in order to extend our vision so that we can look at things that are far. So yun po yung telescope. So it makes distant objects appear larger and brighter. Ngayon po, kung gusto natin pong mag-observe ng mga minute or very small objects, we need a microscope. The microscope, like the telescope, is also an extension of the human eye. So the microscope helps us perceive very small or minute objects. Yung telescope po naman allows us to view far or distant objects. So that's how we define a telescope. So it's an instrument that collects and focuses light to make distant objects appear larger and brighter. So let me make this clear mga ka-Skywatchers, na may mga telescopes that uses other forms of radiation other than light, no? So meron tayong tinatawag na radio telescope. So, and meron din po yung mga X-ray telescopes. But that's another story. So, sa ating pag-uusapan ngayong gabi, we will be focusing more on the so-called optical telescopes. Ayan po, no? Doon tayo magfo-focus sa optical telescopes. Yung mga radio telescopes, yung mga X-ray telescopes, or infrared telescopes, yan. Ibang usapan naman po yan. They make use of other forms of radiation to observe the universe. So, ang focus po ng ating pag-uusapan ngayon ay yung mga optical telescopes. Alright mga ka-Skywatchers and mga ka-Spacers. So, ang tanong, who invented the telescope? So the first person to apply for a patent for a telescope was a Dutch lens maker by the name of Hans Lippershey or Hans Lippershey or Hans Lippershey. Maraming ano po eh. So pag nagtuturo kasi ako, ang pronunciation ko po dyan ay Lippershey, Hans Lippershey. So in 1608, Lippershey laid claim to a device that could magnify objects 3 times. So his telescope had a concave eyepiece aligned with a convex objective lens. So ayan po yung device na ginawa ni Hans Lippershey. So siya po yung unang nag-patent ng gadget na ito that can magnify distant objects. So ito po yung telescope ni Hans Lippershey. So in history, siya po yung unang nag-patent. So he is considered in history as the inventor of the telescope. Alright, pero yung telescope po na ginawa ni Hans Lippershey eventually, ginamit po ng military to spot enemy ships. So hindi naman po ginawa ni Hans Lippershey yung telescope to observe the night sky. So he used the telescope at ginamit po ng Dutch Navy to spot enemy ships, yung mga pirata. That's why po yung telescope noon, ang tawag po dyan ay spyglass. Ayan, so hindi pa naman po tawag na telescope because the telescope was used to spot pirates or enemy ships. Kaya ang tawag po doon sa telescope noon ay spyglass. And the telescope made by Hans Lippershey can magnify the object about 3 times, no? So hindi siya masyadong ganong kalakasan yung telescope ni Hans Lippershey or Hans Lippershey. Ayan, so there. So ayan po yung telescope na ginawa ni Hans Lippershey. Alright, then came Galileo Galilei. So si Galileo po na nalaman po niya yung device na ginawa ni Hans Lippershey. So he made one for himself. So ito po yung misconception ng maraming mga estudyante, kasi pag sinabi po nating telescope, ang lagi pong nasa isip nila ay si Galileo. Now, Galileo is considered as the inventor of the telescope. So again, let me make this clear sa lahat ng ating mga viewers natin ngayong gabi na the telescope was invented by Hans Lippershey. Yan. Si Galileo po, narinig lang po niya na may ginawang ganitong klaseng instrument that can magnify distant objects. So he became very interested with this instrument. So ginawa niya, pinag-aralan po niya, no, yung principle behind that instrument, and he made one for himself. And ito po yung telescope na ginawa ni Galileo. So his telescope was an upgrade of Hans Lippershey's telescope. Yung kay Hans Lippershey, 3 times lang po yung magnified image. Pero yung kay Galileo po, 30. No, 30 times po na ma-magnify yung distant object. And ang kagandahan po nung ginawa ni Galileo, so Galileo, instead of pointing his telescope at enemy ships or mga pirates, Galileo pointed his telescope at the night sky. Sa kalawakan niya po pinoint yung telescope. And he made many discoveries using that telescope. Alright, so one significant discovery of Galileo using his telescope was Jupiter. No, he pointed his telescope at Jupiter and he saw objects, no, surrounding Jupiter. No, apat yan, and later we call them now as the Galilean moons. So Galileo discovered that Jupiter is surrounded by moons. Yan po yung 4 na pinakamalaking buwan ng Jupiter. But again, mga ka-sky watchers and mga ka-spacers, Jupiter is orbited by more than 90 plus moons. But Galileo saw through his telescope tong 4 na ito. No? So we have Callisto, Europa, Io, and Ganymede. So we now call them as the Galilean moons. Ayan po, no? So na-realize ni Galileo parang miniature solar system tong Jupiter. Alright, so there, he pointed his telescope at Jupiter and ito po yung nakita niya. Alright, fascinating, isn't it? Then Galileo also pointed his telescope at the moon. Kasi noon po mga ka-sky watchers and mga ka-spacers, so maraming naniniwala kasi noon that the surface of the moon is smooth, mala crystal ball ang buwan, no? Perfect ang buwan. But when Galileo pointed his telescope at the moon, Galileo saw craters, Galileo saw mountains and valleys similar to Earth. So na-realize po ni Galileo na hindi pala mala-crystal ball ang buwan. The moon has valleys and plains and mountains, craters similar to Earth. Ayan po, no? So yan yung nakita ni Galileo and drawing pa nga niya. Ito po yung drawing ni Galileo when he pointed his telescope at the moon. Alright? And Galileo also pointed his telescope at the sun. Yan. Kaya lang ang problema, walang protection yung telescope niya. Hindi pa nga uso yung solar filter noon. So Galileo pointed his telescope at the sun and that led him to be blinded eventually. No? Nabulag din si Galileo. And anyway, he was the first to saw sunspots. And ito po yung mga drawings ni Galileo about these sunspots na nakita niya. But eventually, sa kaka-observe niya ng sun, that led him to be blinded eventually. But Galileo was the first to saw sunspots. Alright, so there mga ka-sky watchers and mga ka-spacers, and ito po yung turning point ng telescopic observations ni Galileo when he pointed his telescope at Venus. And ito po yung kanyang observe about Venus. So he noticed that Venus exhibit phases just like the moon. So may crescent Venus, may quarter Venus, may gibbous Venus, may full Venus, very similar to the phases of the moon. And this was a crucial telescopic observation of Galileo. Why? Because he realized that Venus is actually revolving around the sun. No, parang yung buwan po natin, the reason why we observe the moon changing phases, because from our perspective here on Earth, pag in-observe po natin yung buwan, tapos nagpapalit po siya ng phases, it's because the moon is revolving around the Earth. Alright? Pero nung nakita ni Galileo tong Venus, nagbabago din ng phases parang buwan. That means only one thing, no? That the planet Venus is revolving around the sun. So na-realize niya na hindi yung Earth yung nasa gitna, but it's the sun. The sun is the center of the solar system. So this was a telescopic evidence of the Copernican model, no? And alam na natin po yung story ni Galileo. So eventually Galileo supported Copernicus, yung Copernican model. He was tried by the Inquisition. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. So that was the fate of Galileo. Alright, so yan po yung telescopic observations ni Galileo. But again, mga ka-sky watchers and mga ka-spacers, it was Hans Lippershey who invented the telescope and not Galileo. So at the moment, mga ka-sky watchers and mga ka-spacers, so we have 149 viewers and 1,346 heart reacts. So just keep those heart reacts coming po mga ka-Sky Watchers. Okay, so ituloy na po natin yung ating discussion for tonight. So let's talk about now the types of telescopes. Alright, so basically there are three major types of telescopes. So we have the refractor or the refracting telescope. Then we have the reflecting telescope or reflector, and the catadioptric or the compound telescope. Ayan, no? So refractor, reflector, and catadioptric or compound telescope. Alright, so let's dive deeper into the refracting telescope or the refractor. So yung ginawa po ni Hans Lippershey and yung ginawa po ni Galileo, yun po ay mga refracting telescope. A refracting telescope uses lenses to collect the light and produce the magnified image of the distant object. So here is a diagram of a refracting telescope. Like what I mentioned earlier, the refractor uses lenses to collect the light. So light is collected by the objective lens. So the objective lens gathers the light and bends it into a focal point dito malapit sa gitna ng telescope tube. Alright, then we have a second lens called the eyepiece lens or the eyepiece. The eyepiece brings the image from the focus and magnifies it to the size of your eye's pupil. So the eyepiece magnifies the image form here dito sa may focal length and projects it po sa ating mga mata. So basically these are the two lenses, two basic lenses of a refracting telescope. So you have the objective lens that collects the light and the eyepiece kung saan po tayo sumisilip that magnifies the initial image of the objective lens and produces the final magnified image, and it is projected po sa ating mga mata. Alright, so there, no, that's the basic design of the refracting telescope. So ito po yung ginawa ni Hans Lippershey, yung kanyang 3x telescope, and ito din po yung ginawa ni Galileo, yung 30x na telescope niya. Alright mga ka-Sky Watchers, ayan, so ako po yan. Ito po yung, this is my largest refractor. This is the 102 mm Vixen Pulsar. Ayan po, yung objective lens po niya ay 102 mm. Malaki po, malaking objective lens po yan. Alright, so yung tripod po niya, na pinalitan ko na po yan, ginawa kong tier. Yung parang tubo lang siya, tapos very portable siya. Ayan, so siguro I'll be featuring this telescope one of these days. Ayan po. So this is mounted in an altasimut mount. Ayan. So anyway, we will dive deeper sa mga types of mounts na yan. Alright, so this is my Vixen Pulsar 102 mm refracting telescope. Ayan. Ito po yung mga nagpupunta sa amin, mga free telescope viewing sa nakagamit po ng Vixen Pulsar. Then ito naman yung aking Meade. This is my Meade 90 mm refractor. Yan, madalas ko ding gamitin yan sa aming mga free public telescope viewings yan. Very portable siya and malaki po yung aperture niya, yung lens, yung diameter ng lens. So 90 mm naman po ito. Ayan, very good for observing the moon and the planets as well. Alright. Now, ito po yung pinapakita ko po ngayon. This is the largest refracting telescope in the world. Now, this is located at the Yerkes Observatory in the United States. Now, this is the 40-inch Yerkes telescope. So, can you imagine 40 inches yung diameter ng objective lens niya? So, napakalaking telescope po ito. This is the largest po. Now, this is the largest refracting telescope in the world. Alright? Ayan, so this is the Yerkes telescope at the Yerkes Observatory. The objective lens has a diameter of about 40 inches. Alright mga ka-sky watchers, no? Laki niya, no? Itong Yerkes telescope. Ayan, no? Sana all. Gusto ko din magkaroon ng ganyan. Alright, so there. Ngayon maraming nagtatanong, ano bang advantages ng refractor? So una, this is my personal opinion po, and this is based from my experience as we conduct our astronomy outreach. Kasi yun po talaga ang specialty ng Skywatcher Society of Las Piñas. Hindi po kami masyado sa astrophotography. No, pero may mga astrophotographers po kaming mga members, pero what we really do is we conduct astronomy outreach. So we conduct free public telescope viewing sa mga public places. And itong sasabihin ko po na ito yung based from our experience sa paggamit ng refractor, yung advantages niya. So one advantage is yung rugged siya. Kahit na nasa kotse, no? Minsan kasi yung kotse, minsan 'di ba pag nalubhak, ganon, no, kahit naaalog-alog yung kotse, hindi masyadong affected yung refractor. Very rigid po siya. Pwedeng makalog po yung optical tube niya, wala namang mangyayari. Very rugged po. Alright. And di ba ho yung mga lenses niya na nakaseal siya din sa optical tube. So, hindi kailangan ng masyadong linis sa loob ng optical tube. Siguro yung lenses lang po pwede siyang punasan. Ayan. Pero yung optical tube, sa loob po ng optical tube, hindi nyo na kailangan linisan yan. So, sealed siya kasi, so it does not need cleaning. Pero yung mga lenses, syempre, pupunasan nyo, baka may moisture or baka may mga dust. So, kailangan nyo din punasan yung lenses. Pero yung loob mismo, yung loob ng optical tube, hindi na masyadong linilinisan yan. Yun ang kagandahan ng refractor. Alright, and yung optical tube niya sealed from air currents and temperature effects. No, kaya minsan pag nasa kotse, pag nainitan yung kotse, hindi masyadong affected yung optics ng refractor. Pero hindi ko nire-recommend na dapat kung may telescope po kayo sa kotse, dapat hindi siya dapat naiinitan talaga. Dapat nasa ilalim po kayo ng puno, or kung may telescope po kayo sa kotse, dapat nasa shade po kayo. Pero kahit na kung mainitan ng konti, hindi naman po ganun ka-affected yung refractor. Yan ang kagandahan po ng refractor. Alright, so there mga ka-sky watchers. Yan. So these are the advantages, no? Rugged, then sealed, so does not need cleaning, and sealed from air currents and temperature effects. Alright, what about the disadvantages of refracting telescopes? So, ang should I say, yung very prominent disadvantage is that ang mga refractors po kasi, they suffer from what we call chromatic aberration, or ang tawag po dyan ay prism effect. So, ito po evident to sa mga cheap telescopes, mga cheap refractors na pag kunyari tinutok niyo po sa buwan, ano siya, may mga color fringes around the image. So, kagaya nito, no? So, parang prism po, di ba? Prism, it's a triangular piece of glass. So, when you allow white light to pass through a prism, white light is broken down into yung spectrum of colors. So, gano'n din po yung mga lenses. No? Kasi ang lenses parang prism din yan. So when light passes through the objective lens of the telescope, light is somewhat broken down into colors, lalo na yung blue and red, no? Evident yan, either blue or red. Ayan, so yan po yung disadvantage ng refractor, no? The refractor suffers from chromatic aberration. Pero in modern telescopes, merong mga additional lenses na nilalagay sa objective lens in order to minimize chromatic aberration. So ito yung mga tinatawag nila na achromatic lenses na dinadagdag mo dun sa main lens. Ayan, itong mga achromatic lenses, they bend the light in such a way na yung naiiwasan o nababawasan po yung color fringes dun sa image. Alright. Kaya lang yung mga ganitong mga klaseng telescope, yung mga achromats or apochromats, may mga nagiging 3 elements na yung objective lens, hindi lang isang lens, nagiging 2, nagiging 3. That will make the refractor expensive. Kaya pa nagiging mahal. Lalo na pag yung telescope ay apochromatic or achromatic, medyo may kamahalan po because may additional lenses dun sa objective lens niya para ma-minimize po yung chromatic aberration. Ayan po. So yun po yung sakit ng refractor, yung color fringes niya or yung prism effect or chromatic aberration. Yan. So ang mga ganitong telescopes, like yung mga color fringes na yan can be corrected but not eliminated. So naglalagay po sila ng mga second or third lenses para ma-minimize po yung chromatic aberration. So yung mga additional lenses na yan sa objective lens, that will make the telescope expensive. Alright mga ka-sky watchers, so yun po yung sakit ng mga refractors, no, yung prism effect niya. Like ito po, no, so pag tinuro po niya sa isang astronomical object, may mga color fringes dun sa edges niya, pwedeng blue or red. Ayan, no, so yan, pag ganito po yung chromatic aberration, no, sa mga refractors, so may mga bluish tinge dun sa edge ng image or red, so yan po. But yung mga modern telescopes naman ngayon, may mga additional lenses po sila that will minimize tong mga prism effect ng mga refractors. Okay mga ka-sky watchers, so there. And at the moment we have 213 viewers and 1,457 heart reacts. Ayan, okay. Ayan, parang binulsa kami ni Sir Captic. Yan, may mangyayaring di maganda sa PILSA. Oo nga. Ayan, 5 inch. Uy, oo nga. Oh. Yung sa akin kasi parang 4 inches lang ata yung Vixen Pulsar ko or 5 inch yan. Favorite ko yung Sir Captic, yung Vixen Pulsar na yan. Malaking telescope. Kaya ako yung naghahanap ng malalaking telescope kasi sa mga free public telescope viewings po. Kasi pag yung mga tao may nakitang malaking telescope, wow, pupuntahan nila yun. Wow, laki ng telescope, pupuntahan nila yun. Experience ko na rin po yan. Usually po yung mga tao, lalo na sa mall, no, pag may malaki silang telescope na nakita, oh daddy, look, there's a telescope. Yan, pupuntahan nila yan. Alright, so there, let's continue now. So the next type of telescope is called the reflecting telescope. So a reflecting telescope, mga ka-sky watchers, uses a concave mirror or a curved mirror, no, to collect the light and focuses the image. Ayan, so usually dalawa po yung mga mirrors na yan, yung you have a primary mirror and a secondary mirror. So ang importante po dito pag reflecting, from the word reflect, so the telescope uses mirrors po. So you have a concave mirror as the primary mirror and you have a secondary flat mirror. Alright, and ang nag-imbento po ng reflecting telescope is no other than Sir Isaac Newton. Ayan, kasi Sir Isaac Newton was trying to eliminate chromatic aberrations sa mga refractors. So sinabi ni Isaac Newton, kasi ang mga refractors diba uses lenses. So sabi ni Newton, why not eliminate the use of lenses? Mirrors can do the collecting and the focusing of light. Oh, yeah. So yun ang ginawa niya. Instead of lenses na nagpo-produce ng prism effect, gumamit siya ng mirrors. So he was able to eliminate chromatic aberration. No? Light doesn't pass through a mirror, it reflects light nga eh. So the glass for a reflecting telescope eliminates chromatic aberration. And ang kagandahan din po ng reflecting telescope, you can make the telescope really big. Yan, kaya ang mga malalaking telescopes usually are reflectors po yan. No. Alright mga ka-sky watchers, so here is a diagram of a reflecting telescope. So you have here the primary mirror, so you have here the optical tube. Then at the back of the optical tube is the primary curved mirror. So pwedeng parabolic yan or pwedeng spherical. Alright, then the curved mirror focuses the light onto a secondary flat mirror. Then the light is reflected onto an eyepiece dito po sa side ng optical tube papunta sa mata. And this was the design made by Isaac Newton. So ang tawag po dito sa ganitong design na may curved mirror sa likod, then you have a small flat mirror near the top of the telescope tube. Then the image is reflected dito sa gilid. Ayan po. So this is called the Newtonian reflecting telescope. Ayan po, no? Alright. And in our free public telescope viewings po, yung mga bata nga dito sumisilip dito sa likod. Sinasabihan, hindi dyan ang silipan dito sa gilid. So that adds up to the curiosity ng mga viewers po yung gustong sumilip sa telescope. Kasi unlikely kasi na ang silipan ay sa gilid. So talagang that adds to their curiosity. Diba, hindi kagaya pag sinabi mong telescope, sisilip ka sa mahabang tubo, diba? Tapos nandun yung sa kabilang end yung eyepiece, yung classic refractor. Alright, so ganon. Pero very unusual kasi pag yung silipan ay nasa gilid. Ayan, kaya minsan pag nag-free public telescope viewing po kami, nag-astronomy outreach po kami, madalas kong gamitin reflector. Kasi sa unusual kasi sa telescope ang silipan ay nasa gilid. Ayan, no? Alright, so again, this is the basic design of a Newtonian reflecting telescope. So inside the optical tube is the primary mirror at the back. Nandito po yung primary curved mirror. And again, pwede pong parabolic or spherical. Ngayon baka may magtanong dito na ba ang advantage pag parabolic or spherical. Based on experience po, mas maganda po yung parabolic. Ayan. So siguro we'll have another session kasi may mga mathematic pa yan sa optics about parabolic and spherical shaped mirrors. Pero based on my experience, mas maganda po, mas sharp ang image pag parabolic yung curvature ng mirror. Yan, two of my telescopes po, ganito yung mirror niya, parabolic. Very sharp po yung image. Yung aking Vixen Super Polaris, yan, mga parabolic yung primary mirror niya. Alright? And then, yung light is reflected onto a flat mirror dito po near the top of the telescope tube. Then the image is reflected onto an eyepiece. Ayan po. So this was the design made by Isaac Newton. This is the Newtonian reflecting telescope. Ayan. So ito po, this is a photo. This is my Mizar 100 mm. Now the diameter of the primary mirror is 100 mm. Yung focal length po ng telescope na ito is 1000 mm. So ito isa sa mga favorite ko na telescope. This is one of my favorite telescopes. Yan, very sharp yung yung image. And yung kanyang focuser, it's a helical focuser, very I should say one of a kind. Na makakita kayo ng focuser na helical na ganyan, no? Actually, this is a vintage telescope. Maganda. Nangongolekta ako ng mga vintage telescopes. So this is my Mizar 100mm reflecting telescope. Focal length po niya is 1000 mm. Very good for observing planets and the moon. Alright, ito po yung yan. This is my Vixen Super Polaris L 100 reflecting telescope. Hindi po iting Super Polaris na ibang dalawa po yung ganyan ko eh. So okay din po ito. It has a parabolic curved mirror. Yan, and medyo mahaba po yung kanyang yung focuser. Ayan. Yung focuser po niya is a rack and pinion, no? Parang sa microscope. Alright. And maganda rin po yung kanyang mount. So this is a Skywatcher equatorial mount. Alright. Okay mga ka-Skywatchers, yan, ito naman po, this is my Vixen Voyager. So Vixen Voyager po ito, maganda rin po ito. Ayan, so it has a focal length of 900 mm pero yung kanyang diameter, I think 100 mm yung diameter ng primary mirror. Okay, and this telescope gives sharp images of the moon. Yan, and even the planets, lalo na pag Jupiter. Alright mga ka-Skywatchers, so itong yellow telescope, this is my yellow Vixen Voyager reflecting telescope. Meron din po kung refractor na counterpart nito. May Vixen Voyager din ako na refractor, yellow din. Ayan, kaya kinuha ko to kasi unusual din po sa telescope na yellow yung kulay, di ba? Usually yung mga telescopes either white or black, yung sa Celestron, or dark blue. Pero bihira kasi kayong makakita ng telescope na yellow. Yan, di ba? Kaya pag nakita yan ng mga tao, yellow na telescope, pupuntahan po nila yan. Di ba? Alright, so there. Alright. Okay, and itong photo na to, this is the largest reflecting telescope so far. This is the Gran Telescopio Canarias in Spain. Ito po this is now considered as the largest reflecting telescope so far. Baka makagawa pa sila ng mas malaki dito. Ayan, so look at the primary mirror. Wow, grabe, laki. Alright, ito yung Gran Telescopio Canarias. Wow, fantastic. Then this is the Keck Telescope in Hawaii. Actually, 4 yan. Oo, it's an interference telescope. So, yung 4 na yan nangongolekta ng light, pero i-combine yan as 1. Galing nga eh. No, that's that Keck Telescope in Hawaii. Yan. Alright, then this is the Hale Telescope at Mount Palomar sa Pasadena, California. Pero malaki din tong telescope na to. In fact, yung astronomer nasa loob na nga ng secondary, ito na wala na nga secondary mirror to eh. Prime focus na nga ito eh. Ayan, so there, the astronomer sits inside the gondola of the telescope. Ayan. Alright, so there mga ka-Skywatchers, yan yung mga malalaking telescopes na reflecting. Ayan, so yung pinakamalaki is the Gran Telescopio Canarias. Yan, ito yung Keck naman sa US, sa Hawaii, sa Hawaii. Then this is the Hale Telescope at Mount Palomar sa Pasadena, California. Alright, mga ka-Skywatchers, ang advantages ng reflecting telescope, syempre, numero 1, kaya ginawa ni Newton yan in order to eliminate chromatic aberration. Ayan, so all wavelengths will reflect off the mirror in the same way. So, hindi siya nabe-bend, walang prism effect. So, the telescope does not suffer from chromatic aberration. And reflecting telescopes can be made very large, because the mirrored surfaces have plenty of support. Thus, reflecting telescope can greatly increase the light gathering and resolving power. Ayan. So, ang ibig lang sabihin po nito, pwede mo gawing malaki yung yung telescope. In fact, yung mga malalaking telescopes ngayon po are reflectors. And ngayon baka may magtanong, bakit hindi nila napalaki yung yerks? Bakit wala nang mas malaki pa sa yerks? Kasi po yung pag pinalaki po natin yung lens, baka mag-bend yun, baka ma-distort po yung lens, yung objective lens because of its own weight. Baka ma-distort yung shape ng lens at hindi magbibigay ng magandang focus yung refractor pag mas malaki pa sa yerks. So yung sa Yerkes Observatory, yung telescope doon, yun na po yung pinakamalaking refractor. Hindi na po pwedeng mas malaki pa doon. Kasi yung weight, pag dinagdagan pa natin yung bigat yung primary lens niya, yung objective lens, baka ma-distort po yung lens because of its own weight. Kaya hindi na siya magbibigay ng magandang focus. Unlike reflectors, ang reflectors pwede tayong gumawa ng malalaking mirrors. Yan, no, pwede tayong mag-polish ng mga malalaking mirrors. So we can make the telescope bigger, no, like yung Grand Telescopio Canarias, diba, or yung Hale sa Mount Palomar. Alright, and reflecting telescopes are often cheaper, which is true. Opo, diba, kasi kaya nagmahal ang refractors, lalo na yung mga yung mga modern refractors po ngayon. Kasi nga diba, most refractors nowadays are achromats or apochromats. May mga additional lenses po kasi sa objective lenses nila that will make the refracting telescope really expensive. Unlike reflectors, ang reflectors mirrors lang yan eh. Mas mura siya. Biruin nyo mga ka-sky watchers na ang isang refractor, may nabili po ko yung aking 102S na Mizar, yung 4-inch refractor ko. Mahal talaga kasi apochromat siya. Pero yung telescope na yan, may vlog po ako dyan sa aming channel sa TikTok. Panoorin niyo po yun, yung Mizar 102S refracting telescope. Meron pa, panoorin niyo po yung mga ka-sky watchers. Yan, doon ko in-explain yung special features ng telescope na yun. Unlike yung mga reflectors, mura lang po yan. Siguro yung pinakamurang nabili ko is 3,000, mga ganun. Pero sa Japan surplus po yun. Siyempre, pag Japan surplus, may mga may mga defects, so aayusin mo pa yun. Ayan. Pero yung mga mura na branded, ang pinakamura is siguro mga 7,000 or 15,000 in the case of yung Celestron Astromaster or yung Celestron Power Seeker. Yan, mga mura lang po yan. Alright. Okay, so there, reflecting telescopes are often cheaper. Mas mahal pa nga po yung tripod mount eh. Okay, so yun po yung mga advantages ng reflecting telescopes. Ngayon po, may mga disadvantages din ang reflector. Ang reflector kasi kasi open tube yun eh, like yung Newtonian. Yan, ito po yung Newtonian, ito, kagaya nito, open tube ito. Ito din, open tube. So, usually, nalalagyan po yun ng mga alikabok. Pati yung mirror na alikabukan yan. So, it requires frequent cleaning. Lalo na yung mga Dobsonian na reflectors na talagang malalaki, yung mga light buckets po yan. So, it requires cleaning, lalo na yung mirrors nila. No? So, and it can be affected by air currents. Lalo na po sa gabi, kunyari nag-stargazing po kayo sa gabi, tapos paiba-iba yung temperature, dapat constant yung temperature po sa loob. No? So, minsan kasi naglalagay pa yung mga talagang seryoso sa astrophotography, naglalagay pa po sila ng fan. May fan po dun sa may primary mirror para hindi po masyadong affected yung telescope sa mga temperature changes sa labas. Ayan, so nilalagyan nila ng parang computer fan. Alright, mga ka-sky watchers, yun, no? So siguro twice a year mo kailangan linisan yung reflecting telescope. And ang reflecting telescope po, ang isang sakit yan kasi pag nasa kotse yan, pag mabilis, pag lumulubak yung kotse, ganun, minsan nami-misalign yung mga mirrors o yung mga frequent handling. No? Siyempre, pag astronomy outreach, bubuhatin mo yung telescope. So minsan nami-misalign po yung mga mirrors niya. Kaya ito po yung sakit ng mga reflectors. So they need periodic optical realignment or collimation na tinatawag. So we will have siguro one live stream. I will teach you how to collimate a reflecting telescope. Alright, so ito po yung sakit. Kailangan lang ma-realign yung mga mirrors at least twice a year. Ayan, no. The second mirror can cause image obstruction. Kasi nasa gitna po yung secondary mirror, no, baka magkaroon ng obstruction at mababawasan po yung light na papasok dun sa optical tube. Ayan, so those are the disadvantages of the reflecting telescope. So it requires frequent cleaning. It is affected by outside temperature that may cause fuzzy images. A reflecting telescope needs periodic optical realignment or collimation. And the secondary mirror can cause image obstructions. Kasi po nasa gitna po yung secondary mirror eh. So it may cause image obstructions. Alright, so there mga ka-sky watchers and mga ka-spacers. The next type of telescope is called the catadioptric or compound telescope. So a catadioptric telescope is an optical system that is optimized for producing images of objects at an infinite distance and which incorporates, take note mga ka-sky watchers, it incorporates both refractive type lenses and reflective type mirrors. So, ang ibig lang sabihin nito mga ka-sky watchers and mga ka-spacers, ang catadioptric telescope ay meron siyang lenses. So, refractor siya. And meron din siyang mirrors, reflecting siya. So it's a combination of refractive and reflective components. No? Kaya tinawag siyang compound or a catadioptric telescope. So here is the basic design of a catadioptric telescope. So at the front of the telescope tube, meron na siyang correcting lens. So ito po yung correcting lens niya that would minimize chromatic aberration. Ayan po. So, meron na siyang refractive element, no? Meron na siyang correcting lens. Then, at the back of the telescope tube, nandun yung primary mirror. Then, the primary mirror focuses or reflects the light onto a secondary mirror na curve, hindi siya flat. It's a curved mirror. Then, etong secondary mirror reflects the light dito po at the back of the telescope tube. Then, dun na sa eyepiece. So, yung silipan niya parang refractor na sa the opposite end of the optical tube. Pero ano siya, no? It's a combination of both reflecting and refracting elements. No, like yung mga C90, no, very popular yan no, sa mga amateur, mga astrophotographers, yung Celestron C90, yan no, ganyan. Ganyan yung mga catadioptric telescope. Alright, so there. What are the advantages of the catadioptric telescope or yung compound? So the catadioptric telescopes offer a compact design. Portable po siya, maliit lang po yan eh. Pero ano yan, small but terrible to mga catadioptric. Mas malupit pa nga yan kaysa doon sa mga mahabang telescopes po eh. Yan, portable, easy to transport while providing high quality views with few optical flaws by combining both lenses and mirrors. At kagaya ng mga Celestron C90. And another advantage, their enclosed tube protects the optics from dust. O parang refractor yun, no? So enclosed po siya, hindi siya open tube. And their ability to correct or spherical aberration nga kasi nga may correcting lens na sa harapan. No, ito kagaya nito, may correcting lens na sa harap so that will correct yung mga spherical aberrations. Kaya maganda yan sa ano eh, sa buwan. Kaya lang may kamahalan kasi ang mga catadioptric eh. No? Can't afford ako. Hanggang Japan surplus lang ako. Ayan guys, so there. So these are the three basic types of telescopes, no? Refractor, reflector, and yung compound or catadioptric. Alright mga ka-skywatchers and mga ka-spacers, so siguro bago tayo magtapos, siguro I will just discuss yung mga telescope mount some other time, pero pag-usapan po natin itong telescope eyepiece. Ayan, so ano ba itong telescope eyepiece? So telescope eyepiece or eyepieces are crucial because they magnify the image formed by the telescope's main lens, yung objective lens, or mirror, yung primary mirror, making it possible to observe celestial objects. So ito lang mga ka-skywatchers, no? Ang kahit na ang telescope nyo ay mura, no, yung cheap plastic lang na nabibili sa mga department store. And by the way guys, mga ka-skywatchers, isang tip lang po, wag po kayong malilin lang or mabubudol sa mga telescope sa mga malls. Hindi I am nothing against, kaya lang kasi sayang lang po yung pera ninyo. Bili na lang po kayo ng something na pwedeng, kasi yun yung mga tinatawag na hobby killers eh. Kasi nabubudol tayo sa magnification. Tong telescope na to can magnify up to 600x. Wag po kayong maniwala, wag po kayong mabudol sa mga ganyan. Lalo na sa mga department store telescopes. So kung ako sa inyo mga ka-skywatchers, I discourage you from buying yung mga ganyan, yung mga plastic telescopes na ganyan sa department store. Ayan, so mas marami pang magaganda sa FB Marketplace, or bumisita po kayo sa sa Cutting Edge. Ayan, hindi ko I have no connection with Cutting Edge, pero talagang dun po lang talaga ang bilihan ng mga branded na telescopes. Ayan, okay, so there. Balik po tayo dito sa sa eyepieces. So ang eyepiece po kasi ng telescope, it can make or break your telescope. Yun po yung to summarize itong masasabi ko about the telescope eyepiece. Pag maganda po yung eyepiece, ay naku, maganda rin po yung telescope. Your eyepiece can make or break your telescope. Pag pangit yung eyepiece, tako, it can be a hobby killer, maniwala po kayo. Hobby killer pa pag pangit po yung eyepiece. Talagang madidismaya po kayo, kaya dapat maganda po yung eyepiece ng telescope nyo. Your telescope, ito magandang mga quotations. Your telescope is as good as your eyepiece. Yun. Okay? Your telescope is as good as your eyepiece. Pag maganda yung eyepiece, ay naku, maganda yung telescope ninyo. Kahit nabili nyo yan sa isang murang cheap cheap store na bilihan ng telescope or department store type telescope. Basta maganda yung eyepiece, yan po yung magandang your telescope is as good as your eyepiece. Ayan po, no? Bakit? Kasi ang eyepiece yun na nagbibigay ng magnification, ng field of view, and yung overall image quality, impacting how much of the telescope's potential you can actually see. Kaya nga ang eyepiece talaga, your telescope is as good as your eyepiece. Ayan. Alright mga ka-skywatchers. Ayan, so maraming klaseng eyepieces. Like ito yung ito yung mga eyepieces po na nabibili sa sa mga department store telescopes. Usually Huygens type yan, na dalawa lang yung elements. Pag sinabi kong elements, yung lenses or rams din. Ito yung mga cheap eyepieces. Usually nakakabit na to sa mga department store telescopes. Alright. Pero I suggest po na, kasi ang hygiene yan hindi na matagal na ho ito eh. It does not give good quality images of the moon and the planets. Ayan. So maraming klase pong eyepieces na available. Ayan, like yung yan, Hygenian, Ramsden, Kellner. Pag may nakita po kayo sa eyepiece na K, yan, Kellner yan. H, Hygenian. Yan, no? So, I suggest po, no? Ito lang po, this is a tip sa mga amateur astronomers na nakikinig po sa akin ngayon, yung mga gumagamit po ng telescope. I suggest na wag po kayong gumamit ng Hygenian, Ramsden, Kellner. Ayan mo. Ang workhorse po na eyepiece that is used by many amateur astronomers is the Plausil. Ito po yung 4-element na Plausil. Ayan. Pero itong mga iba like orthoscopic, yan yung Erfel, yan, and yung Nagler. Okay din po yan. Kaya lang mahal po. Mahal itong 2-inch na Nagler, mahal po yan. Oo. Sana makabili ako ng ganyan na eyepiece. Kasi it gives you a good magnification saka yung wide field of view. Kaya lang ang mahal. So I will stick to the Plausil na lang muna. Yung Plausil, okay na po. It gives a good magnification, crisp and clear images, saka medyo wide ang field of view din yan. And this is the workhorse of amateur astronomy, itong ginagamit po na. And ako din po personally, yan po yung aking ginagamit, yung Plausil. Medyo mura lang po siya. No, so yung pinakamura is 1,000 pesos, or yung pinakamagandang Plausil mga 1,500 ganun. Pero yung Nagler, siguro may 5,000. Mahal po. Alright, so there. And yung Barlow, siguro we'll talk about the use of the Barlow kasi ibang usapan po itong Barlow lens. Ayan po. And maraming mga klaseng yung mga focal lengths ng mga eyepieces. So may 4mm, may 6mm, may 12mm, 15, 30, 40mm. Pero sa mga free public telescope viewings po namin, ang usually na ginagamit ko ay 15mm or 32mm. Ayan po. So, bakit may mga ganitong mga focal lengths ng eyepieces? It has something to do with magnification kasi. Alright? So, ang magnification po kasi ng telescope is computed by getting the focal length of the telescope and dividing it by the focal length of the eyepiece. Like for example, if the focal length of your telescope is 900 mm, yung focal length ng eyepiece is 25 mm, that will give you a total magnification of 36x. Ayan po, no? So, there mga ka-sky watchers. So, ganyan po mag-compute ang magnification ng telescope. Alright? And yung eyepiece kasi, mahalaga po yan in determining the magnification. So, like for example, if you will be using a 25mm eyepiece, tapos ang focal length nyo ay 900mm, 36x. If you will lower the magnification to let's say 15, tataas po yung magnification ng telescope ninyo. So the basic rule here is this: the shorter the eyepiece focal length, it will give you a higher magnification. Ayan, telescope eyepiece magnification is determined by dividing the telescope's focal length by the eyepiece focal length. And the shorter the eyepiece focal length, it will give you a higher magnification. Alright? Yan, magnification can be changed by swapping eyepieces. So, ito po yung ginagawa namin. Let's say, pag gusto namin na mas malaki yung image ng buwan, at let's say, ang ginagamit ay 32mm na eyepiece, I will swap it. Tatanggalin ko po yung 32mm na eyepiece. Ang ipapalit ko po ay 15mm. No, para mas malaki po yung image ng buwan. And pag gusto niyo naman sa mga planets, you can swap to 12mm or 9mm, no, para mas malaki yung magnification. Kaya lang ang downside, if you increase the magnification, medyo lumiliit po yung field of view. Yung field of view po, yan po yung bilog na pag sumilip kayo sa eyepiece, yun po yung area po ng eyepiece, yun po yung field of view. So pag ini-increase niyo po yung magnification, yun po yung downside, no? Lumilit yung field of view at medyo yung image nagiging dimmer, no, pag in-increase po natin yung magnification, and it can also reduce the sharpness of the image. Kaya linagay ko ho dito, while higher magnification makes the object appear larger, it also makes the image dimmer and can reduce sharpness. So sa aking experience sa aming mga free public telescope viewings, mas maganda po yung kasi na malaki yung field of view and kita nila yung buong buwan, yung kabuuan ng buwan or yung say Jupiter. No, kasi pag higher ang magnification, hindi po masyadong na-appreciate ng mga sumisilip sa telescope. Kaya minsan pag if they want to take pictures of the moon, sinuzoom ko na lang po yung sa may cellphone. Ayan po, pero hindi ko na ginagalaw yung eyepiece kasi mas gusto ko yung larger field of view. Ayan po, no? So there mga ka-sky watchers and mga ka-spacers. So ganun po yung paggamit ng eyepiece. No, the shorter the eyepiece, the higher is the magnification. Kaya ganito, no? The longer the focal length of the eyepiece, medyo hindi ganun ka-magnified yung image. Pero it's your preference po. Ano ba hong gusto ninyo? Magnified yung image pero bawas yung field of view, or small yung image pero malaki yung field of view. Ganun po kasi it's your personal preference. Kasi ako, ang preference ko kasi kahit maliit lang yung image pero malaki yung field of view. And kasi mas sharper yung image. Kasi pag minagnify po natin yung image, ang downside niyan baka maging dimmer or hindi maging sharp yung image. Kaya minsan ginagamitan ng Barlow, pero that's another story po yung Barlow lens. Alright mga ka-sky watchers and mga ka-spacers. So there, ayan po, no? Okay, so ayan po yung ating telescope. Alright, so there. Ayan, so marami pong salamat sa mga bumisita po ngayon. Alright, so this is your ka-sky watcher, ka-spacer, and space commander, Sir Jun Cahigal, saying, live long and prosper, and always remember to always keep your space, and always keep looking up, looking up, look up, look up, look up. Bye-bye po. See you on our next live stream. Marami pong salamat. Sana marami po kayong natutunan about telescopes. Alright, malapit po yan sa puso ko, telescope. Because the Skywatcher Society's advocacy is to share the telescope to the public. Ayan po. Marami pong salamat. Thank you po. Ayan. Shout out kay Miss Ramon Shingay. Ayan. Ayan. Hope to see you, ma'am, soon. Okay, bye-bye po. Marami pong salamat.